Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between Snute and Zest on Overgrowth, the latter edition. In the top right side of the map, we have the blue Protoss player. It is Zest. Going by barcode, but this is definitely Zest. And in the bottom left side of the map, we have the red Zerg player. It is Snute from Team Liquid. So this is from Nation Wars, a very excellent tournament. Got the replays off of spawningtool.com, a great place to go if you're looking for Legacy of the Void replays for sure. And actually, probe scouting is our friend Zest. I love to see that. I love to see that out of Protoss players and seeing it fairly frequently as of late, I have to admit. So probe coming in, probably going to try to block that expansion. That Snute is thinking about, oh, gets the block off. Snute says, fine. Fine, I will just expand over here instead at the third base location, but it will work just fine as a natural. No complaints from me. Chink, there it is. And Zest back home. They're going for that gateway expand action. Extractor for Snute coming down, and a pool coming down shortly after that one. Whew. So again, Nation Wars. If you haven't, if you're unfamiliar with that one, it's a great idea. You actually have players from the StarCraft 2 universe representing their own nations instead of the teams they play for. So some bragging rights, right, for the country that you happen to be from and you're very proud of if you win. And if you lose, you just bring shame to your entire country. So no problems there for sure. Gateway done, Nexus up, Cybernetics Core coming in, second gas coming up now. There it is, there it is. No reason to change from that one gate expand if you are Zest. And the pool about to finish here for Snute. So at this point, Snute should assume expansion Nexus. It probably happens, I want to say, in 90% of games in ZVP. But once he has clarified that, or once he feels safe enough, he's probably going to throw down another hatch. Here it is natural base. Go for a 3 hatch versus a 2 Nexus play from the Protoss player, which seems intelligent and seems extraordinarily smart. Adept coming on in. Warp Gate research on the way for Zest as well. We do have a scouting probe here. Interestingly enough, with a bit of a drone transfer over here to this third base location for Snute. No lings out yet. Actually, Snute going lingless, is he? No, he's got a couple lings. 2 slow lings are going to chase this probe down. Eventually getting there, I think. Stay off the creep. 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 Staying off the creep. Good job, probe. Might actually make it home because you stay off the creep. And especially because the lings just gave up and pull back to a defensive position. So that's totally safe. Adept moving on out. Adept number 1. Numero uno. Gonna try to get some kills off here. There are more lings in production, 4 of them to be exact. So this is Adept, if she's not careful, could get surrounded and murdered quite well. Third hatch coming up for Snute right about now. That is natural base location. Queen stabbing away. Lings trying to get that surround here on the creep. Adept does sonic transfer out of there after getting no kills. It's pretty much just a move. If it's one Adept, it's just a move to force lings out of the Zerg player, not let them drone up like crazy. Lings trying to find these Adepts, and actually killing the psionic transfer there was Zest. I'll kill some slow lings, Zest says. That sounds like a lot of fun. Speed just about to complete on these lings, and there they are. Zing! Look at them go. Look at them go. Adepts trying to move on in here, but they have a psionic transfer going the other direction, so they want to be able to bail. There you go, if they want to. And they do, so they're totally safe. Resonating Glaives coming in from a barcode as well. Roach Warren on the way from Snute. We have a robotics facility coming up from our Protoss, a player warping in, not being constructed. Protoss don't build their stuff; they just bring it from other places, which kind of weird, right? Like, are there people on Ire or on the Protoss homeworld or Shakuras who actually spend their time building stuff? Because if this has to come from somewhere, is there like just a giant warehouse full of gateways and cybernetics cores and nexuses, or what? I don't know. Seems like that seems to be a reasonable way of doing things there. All right, so creep spread is connecting the bases. Not even close. Snute. Does Snute have a single creep tumor? Structures tab, structures tab. Not a single creep tumor from Snute. Bad Snute. Bad. You really should be spreading creep, at least between your bases, but all right. If you don't want to, I will not criticize you too much. Just a tiny bit. Adepts walking right on in to this third base. Queen says, I will stab you. Nope. You will get murdered by these Adepts. Wah. And then Sonic transferring out. They got a Queen kill. They didn't lose anything, and they're heading on home. Lots of lings coming out for Snute, though. A lot of Zerglings. Specifically, 27 of them at this stage of the game is quite a big number. Third Nexus on the way for Zest to the left of his natural base, which means a fourth base needs to come up for Snute, or he needs to do something about this immediately. Warp Prism moving in with Adepts on the inside of that Warp Prism, trying to harass this third, maybe trying to keep drones running for their lives right now. Look at that. They didn't even stick around. There's a Spore Crawler coming up. That doesn't really help against Adepts, as it turns out, and Lings are going for it. Roaches at the front, walking right on in. Oh, no, it's not a wall. It's not a wall. Lings assist. Roaches doing fairly well on their own. Some Zealots warping in to try to save this thing. Photon Overcharge, extra efficient as well. What? I guess Snute's worried about these Adepts murdering all of his drones here back at his third base. But you know what? Just go for it, man. Going for it. The Lings on top of the pylons on the left side. Lings trying to take down the pylon here at the natural base as well. But Force Field protecting most of it. Interestingly enough, third base does get canceled. And Lings just getting absolutely massacred by sentries and Photon Overcharge. I don't know if that went well for Snute. There are still Adepts. These 4 Adepts are still going to town at this third base. 5 drones have been killed. It's not that many, but the droning has been absolutely shut down here is the problem. Adepts trying to get on out. Going to be picked up by the Warp Prism and escape very nicely. They're surrounded and saved. Zest. Zest, you're so sneaky. So dang sneaky. Spore Crawler getting some shots off on that Warp Prism, which is what you want to do. You want to kill the Warp Prism, because once that's dead, the Adepts are definitely, absolutely dead. Queen, attack. Attack the Warp Prism. Injecting is excellent, but attacking Warp Prism also good. Lings moving up to the north. Going to try to cancel that third base again, if they can get it. Spore Crawler getting replanted here at the natural base. Lings arriving at the third base under construction once again, getting a surround on these units, but great force fields. Oh, the immortal force field play, beautiful. Everybody's freaking out in there, but they're alive. Did I speed that up? I sped it up a little bit too. I must have accidentally hit that pause button. Bit of a freak out is what happened. Lings trying to come up. There are so many dang sentries. Sentries do a pretty good DPS against Lings, and the force fields just make Lings absolutely useless is the problem. Is he still coming in? Adepts still walking into this third base. They have owned this third base for the first 7 minutes of this match for sure. Immortals coming in, Sentry, Immortal, Adept, Zealot, waltzing right on into this third base. We have Lings on the ground, but I don't know if that's enough. He's got some Roaches and a Ravager, but walking right on into this third base. Run, says Snute. Retreat, drones, run for your lives. Roaches, Ravagers, nope, attack. Attack mode, force fields, keeping stuff out of the way. Actually using Crucible to kill a single force field. Drones getting stuck, they can't retreat. 11 drones have been killed so far. Oh, Zest is absolutely walking all over this, and that's it. A good game out of Snute. Snute is defeated, and Barcode, this time being Zest, is victorious. Heyo. Wow, I think it came down to the defense of that early attack by Snute, going for that Roach Ling thing. I don't know if Snute was distracted by the attack down at his third, but he had a bunch of Lings sitting right here for about a minute and a half while the Roaches were trying to hold their own inside the natural. If there were like 30 Lings up here helping those Roaches, I think that might be it. That might be it for this base. And Zest is stuck on one base, and I think this game goes a lot differently, but as it was, by the time the Lings got around to it, there were force fields, there were sentries. Yes, he lost his third, but not losing his natural was absolutely imperative. Absolutely imperative. But it's not like Snute sent his Lings back to defend either. They just kind of hang out. They hung out for a bit, so weird. So, all right, this is going to be a sneaky twofer out of Falcon Paladin. So we're going to come back with game number 2 here between Snute and Zest in just a second. Welcome back, StarCraft fans, to our sneaky twofer between Zest and Snute here on Newkirk Precinct. Here, we'll go ahead and give Zest a tick because we can, and let's go ahead and introduce these players. In the bottom left side of Newkirk Precinct, we have the red Zerg player. It is Snute from Team Liquid. And in the bottom right side of the map, we have the blue Protoss player. It is Zest. Going by barcode, but this little Zest tag, and the fact that I actually researched this game a little bit, tells me this is actually Zest. So, Zerg versus Protoss here again on Newkirk Precinct. We're going to see is a little bit of a probe scout action from Zest again. It's a 2-player map, so probe scouting is pretty darn easy. Snute does seem to be saving for the hatch first to play, and in fact it is. Moving on up here and throwing down the hatch. Probe doesn't even try to block it. Chink, 53 seconds in. There is your hatchery. And Probe comes in and says, all right, there's not an extractor, there's not a pool. Obviously, there is not going to get some harassment off here. Trying the trick to get all of the drones off this mineral patch. There it is. There it is for a second. Anyway, just try. I mean, it doesn't make a huge difference. It just kind of makes the drones freak out for a little bit, and this mineral patch is not being used temporarily. What he's trying to do is get Snute to pull off like 8 workers and kill the probe, which is not worth it. Not worth it. Extractor pool here coming in for Snute. A little bit late on the pool, a little early on the extractor, I would say. Gateway, expand. There's the expand section. Cyber core is next, and then second assimilator, and then from there, the fun stuff begins to happen. For Zest, there we go. There's the cyber core. Assimilator, ready, on your mark, get set, go. There it is. Ah, the timings are so crisp. So crisp and beautiful. This probe is actually trying to kill a drone. Does force a couple drones off of mining. I don't know. That might have been worth it. A small victory for Zest. Hatchery going pop up here. Slow Overlord moving across the map. Across the map and to see what he can see. What he can see is nothing too interesting. Again, until that cyber core is done, Protoss openings are just kind of zzz, zzz. That's my sleeping noise, but it sounds more like a weed whacker, I would say. So Probe's work is done. He has harassed the Zerg player, has broken his concentration to some level. And you know what? When I said it was done, it's not done. He needs to patrol back and forth across this ramp a little bit until he's chased away by Lings, which is going to happen as there are 4 Lings in production. And 2 Queens coming up as well. All right, so what's up? Zest going for a Stalker and then a Stargate opening. All right, awesome. Stargate opening here at the front of his ramp, which means he is planning on being fairly aggressive because if he's playing defensively, he will lose a Cyber Core and a Stargate pretty quickly. That's what you don't want to do. Ah, the Stalker is going to try to kill this Slow Overlord, but good positioning by Snute says, I don't know that the Stalker can reach that is the problem. So Stalker says, you know what? I'm not sure I can reach that. That seems like a problem. Third hatch coming up from Snute up along this top left side. Speed on the way for Snute as well. I like the music. It's just good. Blizzard music is always good. Blizzard music and Blizzard art and visuals are just always fantastic. If nothing else with Blizzard games, that is what you get. That is what you get. No, I haven't played Overwatch because I'm all first-person shooter out, but it looks beautiful. And it looks fun to play, and that's kind of what Blizzard is all about. So Oracle coming out. This Oracle's name is going to be Ahsoka Tano. Ah, originally from the Clone Wars cartoon from Cartoon Network that I have actually watched the entire thing of. She is Anakin's Padawan, and she also makes an appearance. I'm not sure how many appearances, but in the Rebels cartoon that just started a couple years ago, I want to say. Also on Cartoon Network. Dang it. I can't remember if it's on Cartoon Network or not, but anyway, is she a Twi'lek? She's orange and not green, but she kind of looks like a Twi'lek. She is a Jedi trained again by Anakin. She's pretty snarky and pretty snippy and pretty back-talky to Anakin through most of the series, but she's awesome. She's a double lightsaber using Jedi, which is always super fun to see. Did kill a single drone there, so good job Ahsoka on that one. But more drones on the way for Snute, so I'm not sure he cares too much about losing, you know, a single drone. Third Nexus coming up for Zest, just to the left of his natural base. It is currently 48 to 43 harvesters. Snute has been largely left alone. I mean, yeah, the Oracle did some stuff there, but it wasn't until later is the problem. Lings moving on out, checking for a third base. There's not one there, you guys. Not one above the natural. It is to the left instead. But you know what? Might as well check. Might as well check. Can they get the Ling run by is the question. I think they can get in. And they're... No? Is that a wall? I don't think it was a wall, but the Lings didn't go in. What the... Was that actually a gap there as well? Well, there's a Zealot holding that one. Okay, so maybe not. No, that's not a hole. All right, never mind. There wasn't a hole. Snute didn't miss it. Snute is much better at this game than I would be. Double pumping Phoenix as the follow-up is Zest getting +1 air weapons for them as well. Did we... You know, I just realized I haven't seen the Anion upgrade for Phoenix range recently. Has that been removed? That is a fleet beacon coming in from Zest, though this could be a 3-base carrier play. Is that... Oh, Phoenix killing all 3 workers on the gas here at the natural base. I was going to say, is that Ahsoka? No. No, it wasn't. Where is she, though? Where is Ahsoka Tano? Is she dead? No, she's alive. She's just playing defense at the third. All right, that's fine. That's boring, but it's fine. It is fine. Phoenix count getting a little bit scary now. There are 5 of them in the sky. Another one in production here as well. Overlords trying to stay at the safety of the Spore Crawler, reburrowing the Spore to a position a little bit more advantageous, and there are 2 at the natural base. 4th base coming up for Snute as well. Overlord is not scouted even a teeny tiny bit here. Fleet Beacon, there it is, an Ion Pulse Crystal. Nobody's gotten it. Attack range by 2 is a big stinking deal, but I guess you only really need it if your opponent's going Muta. And even then, if you're a pro player, maybe you don't need it at all. Phoenix have been good against Muta without that +2 upgrade for years and years anyway. So a lot of dead drones being killed recently here by these Phoenix. 10 total, 11 throughout the game. One of those coming from our Oracle friend. It is Carrier out of Zest. All right, so Carrier Mothership. We've seen games like this between Puck and Jim. We've seen games involving Showtime doing stuff like this. So, all right, PBZ, maybe going to be dominated by Carrier for the near future, I suppose. Infestors coming in from Snute, getting muscular augments as well. Graviton Catapult now getting started from Zest, and +2 air weapons being researched. Bunch of Lings coming in. I like this play. I like this play out of Snute, going a bunch of Lings, catching a free Stalker out in the middle of Nowheresville. I think they could actually do some work at the 3rd, but instead they're wasting their time trying to get inside the natural base. They do almost kill the Zealot. Lings getting inside this mineral line. Oracle Ashoka is here to burn them down, those Zealots as well. And Carriers traditionally have been pretty good against Lings, considering Lings have very low hit point totals and cannot shoot up. So, I mean, yeah, excellent. Good try. I mean, 4 probes were killed, but that's a lot of dead Lings, as it turns out. So Snute has some options here. Corruptors, Hydras, Vipers with Abduct are also very good. All things that Snute can try to do. Neural Parasite, though. Oh, he's going the flashiest one of all with Neural Parasite. All right, so Burrowcast Neural Parasite has given us some pretty good highlights on the channel in the past. Was that one Penguin? I want to say that was Penguin. Search a game with Penguin against Protoss in the last couple of weeks, and you will see an interesting use of Neural Parasite against Carriers for sure. Again, that was GM level. That was not pro level. Again, I just think a pro should be able to keep an observer with his army at all times and see infestors coming in at all times before they get close enough to throw that Neural Parasite there that way. So let me see the range on that thing. Does it have a... Tell me the range? No! Actually, can I see the range? No, that's weird. So I can see Infested Terran range, and I can see Fungal range, but there is not a Neural Parasite range. Maybe it has to be a research. Let's see. Just about to finish now. Dink. Oh, it is. Okay, there it is. So it looks like about a range of 9. I would say it is, yeah, maybe 7 or 8. Anyway, all right, that's what we're trying to do. Anyway, we're going to try to Neural Parasite some of these Carriers and turn them against their friends. Bringing some Overseers would be also very good. Yep, 4 Overseers as well. Here comes our big attack, trying to take something out. The Hydras do have +1 attack and +1 armor, working on +2, super important. Glial Reconstitution coming out. Actually, oh, there we go. Revelation being tossed down on the Infestors. Got to focus those down. Got to focus them down now. And Fungal being thrown down at the same time. Focusing down those Infestors. Look at him die, though. Can they get in range? There's one Neural Parasite on a Adept and one on another Adept. I don't know if that's what you wanted to use that spell power on, but whatever. I suppose that was a way to use it. 3 Carriers at a time in production right now from Zest. So feeling pretty confident about himself. 4 bases up for Snute. 4 bases officially up for Zest as well. 78 to 62 Harvesters. Liquid Snute has a tiny bit of a lead. Upgrades, +2 Ground Carapace, +1 Missile Attack, Muscular Augments up, +2 Flyer, and the Graviton Catapult done for Zest. So definitely Sky tossing as hard as he possibly can right about now. Coming in, Lings on the ground. Hydra's not focusing on the Carriers. There we go. Neural Parasite on the Mothership. Trying to focus that thing down, but there are, yes, cloaking the Hydralisks. I forgot about that definite benefit here, but it's not going to be enough. The Mothership gets on, no, tries to get out of there, does get taken down, but the Hydra is getting cleaned out as well. Adept's very good at Hydralisks on the ground, taking them down, doing 22 damage versus Light, and Zest pushing on out with his Carriers, with his Adepts, with his Phoenix in production, which I'd lost, and for a second there are Lings and Hydras for Snute, but I'm not sure I'm not convinced it is going to be enough here. 5th base under construction for Snute, just to the south of his 4th, but there are Adepts ready to shut that down. Support, air support in the form of carriers coming in as well. Phoenix flying into the main base where there are Hydra that is now dead. More Hydras coming in, trying to save the day. +2/+2 on those dudes, and the carriers just had to go on home. I don't agree with that decision. He doesn't know about the 3rd and 4th bases of Snute, though. Here's the problem. A couple Phoenix get picked out of the sky by Hydralisks. Dude, Zest, I think you had that. Well, he sees it now. Adepts waltz right into the 4th base. Killing some drones, trying to kill queens. Sonic transferring their way on out of there when the Hydras show right on up. 4th base. Again, complete for Zest. Does that Zerg player Snute does not know about this base. That is not great. That is not good scouting there. Storm coming in from Zest. Oh, this is Brood War style now. This is Brood War style. Carrier, Storm. Excellent, potent combination against Zerg especially. Hydra is going to be the tech of choice from Snute, though. He kind of stopped at +2/+2. No additional upgrades seem to be coming forth. Replacement 5th base coming up for Snute just to the right of his natural, and I just don't know that pure Hydra is going to be enough. You got to get some Infestors, some Overseers at the very least, but I suppose he knows that Zest has not replaced his mothership yet. It's just a very long time to bring in a mothership. Pathogen glands coming in for Snute. Maybe should have got that initially, but whatever. +3 ground carapace being researched, and +3 missile attack now. So Lings are trying to get in here and harass at the 4th base, but there are so many cannons, and the carriers are not far away. I just don't know that it matters. Is this Ahsoka? Ahsoka has 10 kills, threw down Revelation on the Hydralisk army. And 5th base will pop 6th base, morphing in as well for Snute. Archons coming in, Immortals coming in for Zest, Blink, and +1 ground weapons. All things we're seeing now. Again, Lings trying to do some work here at the 4th, but no. Nope, cannons shutting that thing down. Zest is maxed out, as is Snute right now. So here comes our Adept, Immortal, Templar, Carrier, Archon composition. Now are we going to see a big battle here is the question of the day. Kind of pushing in. The Hydras don't want to engage at this point in time, and going to just lose this 5th base entirely. No saving it. Bam! Thank you for playing. Carriers do have that +2 attack. Storms on the Hydralisks, and pulling back a little bit is Zest. Happy to kill that base. Not going to get too greedy. He does have an Observer because he's killing creep tumors here. All right, Infestors. Can they get close enough to do that neural parasite thing? They don't have the energy to do that neural parasite thing. Oh, snap. Oh, now they do. They just barely do. Storms on top of the Hydras again, though. Just every time. Every time it is so dang dangerous. And another big attack. Fungal's being tossed on down. Again, Zest not just moving into this thing. He is trying to be very circumspect, target firing down what he wants to kill, and forcing the Zerg player to go home. 6th base gone in an instant from these carriers. And there's another Revelation being thrown on down there. Adepts in the front. Neural Parasite not being cast. Infestors are all dead, except for the one. Most of them gone now, which is pretty much enough. And that's it. A good game from Snute. Snute is defeated, and Zest is victorious. Protoss getting the 2-0 win against Snute in this sneaky 2 for Zest. What a stud. What a stud from Zest in that game. Again, we've seen it. We've seen it time and time again. Carrier's good and not invincible. Not invincible, but good. Really good. I want to say, what did Zest even lose in this game? He didn't lose a single carrier, I can tell you that. He lost 6 Zealots, 2 Archons, 14 Adepts, a Stalker, 6 Phoenix, and 5 Templar, and a Mothership. That's it. That is it. Resources lost. Oh, look at that. Look at that discrepancy. 24,600 resources lost for Zerg and 8,700 for Protoss. Just the epitome of cost efficiency, of patience, of positioning, of composition, of macro style. This is how you do it. Protoss players, cannons for base defense, getting Storm, getting carriers, and then just making it work, getting rid of those Infestors as you can, and you should be just fine. So great job there by Zest. Impressive victories overall, and that's going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.